The Olympus MJU, or as it was known in the States, the Olympus Infinity Stylus. The name most commonly used with this one is the MJU, so if you look for it in forums and stuff, that will be the name it was most commonly used, because that was the name it was sold under in Japan. It's a point and shoot 35mm camera. The thing about it though is that it's actually a fixed lens. I'm not sure you can see the focus right there. And it has a 35mm lens. The aperture is 3.5. It's actually a really sharp lens. I'll have a link down below to some samples. And it's actually a multi-autofocus camera. If I read correctly, it uses contrast, phase, and the weirdest one, it actually uses infrared focus. And I've actually tried it. I've shot it in pitch black and it managed to focus. It's probably my favorite point and shoot I've ever had, just because it fits in the hands perfectly. As you can see right here, fits in my hands perfectly. It uses a 123A battery, which you can still find in stores. They're like between $2 to $5 depending what kind you get. The battery doors right here. Just insert the battery, and then to turn on the camera, all you do is you slide it open and the lens pops up. It's actually pretty quick to turn on and to turn off, and to slide, it slides so smoothly. Like I said, it fits in the hand perfectly. It's my favorite camera used for street photography, and it takes regular 135mm film. And to load it, you just open it like so, get your film, pull it about the leader out, and you slide it over the first roll like that. Then you just close it, make sure it's on the sprockets, close it, and it will automatically load for you. Once it's loaded, pop it up, and it's on number 1. Now, some people complain about this camera that it always turns on flash on when you turn it on, and it does. To turn it off, you just push the switch, and that's on auto S. I'm not sure what that one's for. And it's off, and it also has fill-in. It has the flash right above the lens, which you rarely see in a point and shoot. Mostly on some DSLRs. But yeah. The thing that it does though, it meters for a flash. It meters perfectly, because I've never had the flash fire off in a situation where it wasn't needed, and I always have it on because I forget to turn it off. But there's actually some point and shoots where if you shoot it in direct sunlight, it'll go off for some reason. But this one, anytime I did any flash, it didn't go off, and I had it on auto. And the viewfinder is actually above the lens also, which is, you rarely see in point and shoots again. Viewfinder is right here, and I'm guessing it uses a mirror because it's right here. It's right here. It snaps focus really quickly, as you see. And this is actually in pretty bad light. It looks good on the video, but it's actually really bad light. And then to rewind, if you want to rewind your film like in the middle of a roll, you just push it right there. Or after you're done with your roll of film and you can't get any more exposure out of it, it will automatically rewind. This camera, on average, I get between 1 and 3 extra shots, so it actually has a good loader. It's a perfect camera for street photography. That's what I use it mostly. It's just slipping in my pocket, and it's a blast to use. The only downside to it is that it's just on auto. There's no manual mode. There's no aperture priority or shutter priority. If I had aperture priority, it'd probably be like the only camera I use. The Olympus Infinity Stylus. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'm gonna do a video next on this camera, the Olympus Stylus Epic Zoom 115. There's also the Olympus Stylus Epic, which actually has a faster lens. It's still 35mm, I believe, but it's a 2.8 lens. So if you're looking for one for low light, you might go into that one. But this one works perfectly for me. So yeah, I'd recommend that you pick them up flea markets, Goodwill stores for like under $5. It's a perfect lens. I mean, not perfect, that's a perfect camera. Thanks for watching the video.